Hey, this is Dave. Have you ever wondered what goes into choosing the right gear for an AT through hike? I mean, we all have gear that's just hanging around our house. And as long as I can remember, I've wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail, but whenever I bought gear, I purchased it based on whatever I was doing that weekend or a week-long trip or even a day hike up into the White Mountains. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the parameters that I used when choosing my AT gear, the gear itself, and why, or specifically why I'm going to use the gear that I'm going to use on my AT through hike. And I'm also going to include the weight and the price of that gear. But first, let me tell you about gear shakedowns and why I agonized over getting just the right gear for me. Well, it all started probably 30 years ago when I took a 6-day trip on the Colorado Trail, and I must have carried 60 pounds for, I don't know, 4 days. My back was killing, my feet were killing. I basically had no right being out there with that much weight on my back. Then let's fast forward. I did the same thing in Denali. I did the same thing in a British Columbia trip. And I have wanted to right size my pack for the adventure that I'm going on. And of course, back in the day, gear was heavier and there wasn't a lot of ultralight or lightweight backpacking gear. But first, let me tell you about gear shakedowns and why they are so important. I was caught hiking Colorado Trail, or at least a portion of it, about 30 years ago, carrying a 40 to 50 pound backpack. I was only out for 3 to 5 days on this backpacking expedition. Then let's fast forward. I hiked Denali, or at least in Denali National Park. And again, I carried about 40 to 50 pounds for an overnight trip. The next time I went on a 5 to 6 day trip in British Columbia and did the same thing. So in essence, a gear shakedown is just that. Looking at the gear, deciding which gear is too heavy to be carrying, which is necessary, which is unnecessary, and then making decisions on like what you absolutely need. So with that said, I have certain parameters that I want to follow when I'm stepping on the Appalachian Trail with my gear. The first one is the durability. I want gear that is very durable, that can last a long time, because I'm going to be out there anywhere from 150 to 4,000 days on the Appalachian Trail. Hopefully not that long, but you get the point. The next thing I want to look at is the weight of the gear. I want it as ultralight as I can get, with it as durable as I can get it. And then looking at the price. So you kind of play with those because there's different trade-offs when it comes to looking at the gear and saying, okay, this one is extremely durable, but it weighs twice as much as this one, but it costs half as less as this other one. And so I have to look at that. The other parameter, I want it to be something that looks fairly cool, or I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much on that. But those are basically the parameters that I want to use. So I'm going to get into the gear. I'm going to look at my big four, my camp kitchen, miscellaneous items, my medical kit, all those things, consumables and electronics, really give you a good overview of what I'm carrying on the Appalachian Trail. So first up, I'm going to talk a little bit about my backpack. I spent a lot of time agonizing over which backpack I was going to get. And as far as what I came up with, because it's the Appalachian Trail, it needs to be durable from a standpoint of weather, getting wet often, being placed down on rocks and roots, and basically pointy things in the woods, and not getting too snagged or hung up when I'm walking past different trees. I wanted it as lightweight as I could, but then also have some internal frame stability. So with that said, I actually chose the Durston Kakwa 55, and it's right here. I will have a link in the description for this bag and anything else that I tell you about. But this is a small torso. It has all sorts of features which you can look up. I'm not going to bore you with all those now, but I have, like I said, a smaller torso. This is the 55, and I put it on, and this thing is the bomb. It fit really nicely, especially with the softer belt. And when I put it on, I didn't feel like, you know, my belly was being too restricted, because that's a big deal. And it did sit over my hips, and I was able to get it nice and snug. The cost of this is $260. It weighs in at 816 grams, which is about 31 ounces from my understanding. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is my tent. Again, what I wanted was something as lightweight as possible, but it was something that would be durable and something as waterproof as I could get. Again, the weather is going to be mostly unrelenting rain. That's all I can envision for spending 5 months on the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to be a soggy mess. But for that reason, I chose the Durston X-Mid Pro 2, which is right here. I've had several opportunities to set this up, and it has been kind of a work in progress. I need to get all the corners down correctly, but it is a fairly easy setup for me at this point. It's super light. It comes in at 559 grams, which I'm unsure. I think that's around 20 plus ounces, 21. But I talk in grams because that's what I've been looking at for the last 6 months on my lighter pack. This tent is not inexpensive, and that's where one of the trade-offs had to be made, because it is a durable tent for an ultralight tent. It's very pricey, but it also has a very light weight. So that's what I went with for my tent. My quilt, or sleeping quilt, because I didn't go with a sleeping bag. I wanted something that I could use as a side sleeper who flops around quite a bit throughout the night. I did not want a mummy bag or anything close to that. So I ended up going with the Zen Bivy light quilt. It is goes rated down to 25 degrees. And I know it does get colder than that on the Appalachian Trail, but I have, there it is, there's the Zen Bivy name. I have decided that using this quilt, and I want to put my head down on it right now. It feels so comfortable. Will do the trick because I'm a warm sleeper. The quilt comes in at $224. I got it on sale though. There was a discount, which I think there may be a discount going on right now, and 590 grams. So this is actually heavier than my tent. And because it's going to be cold, my sleeping pad is something that needed to be a higher R value. I also needed, so it had to be insulated, or at least lightly insulated, and thicker. I'm a side sleeper, as I've mentioned. I didn't want to bottom out. This is a lightweight yet not ultralight version of a of a sleeping pad. So with that said, the price was $95. I got it on a wicked sale, and 680 grams, which I think during the video I'll put up the conversion for folks. I think that would just make sense. And so this is the Big Agnes Rapide SL Insulated. You can see right here, and as you can tell, I'm kind of taking everything off of the shelf behind me. I'm going to put it in the backpack tonight to see how it fits for the first time. But this is the Big Agnes Rapide SL. I got the 25 by 72 inch, which I felt was really important for me as a side sleeper. I wanted something wider. I actually, the tent is an X-Mid Pro 2, so it's a wider tent. It's built for 2 people or 1.5 people per se. So this is going to fit me nicely. Like I said, it was $95, 680 grams, and hopefully it's durable. It seems to have done the trick in 3 to 5 times that I've slept out on this. It does a good job of keeping the air, and I feel as a side sleeper does a good job with that too. So now we are on to my pillows. A side sleeper. I've given another video on this, and as you know, if you had watched that video, I'm doing something fancy with my pillows. I actually have an Outdoor Vital stretch pillow. It's an ultralight stretch pillow, and I am going to have 2 pillows on top of each other so that I can sleep comfortably on my side. These pillows cost me an average of $13.90. One of them I got to sign up for their mailing list, and then the other one I got at full price, which was I think $24, $25. So if you can't find the deal on the mailing list, I know that this is not pumped up all the way. That's how I like it, just to keep it good there. They're 73 grams each, and I got 2 of them. The next up is my camp kitchen. Again, with the camp kitchen, I am going for ultra light. I didn't really go for inexpensive. I just went with whatever the lightest products that I could find. And the durability, they're made out of titanium. They should be durable enough. And with that said, I have chosen the following. This is my camp kitchen. I actually have, it's called Row Creek, which I thought that it was a Toaks titanium, but I was wrong. So this is what I did. I have my Row Creek. I have my BRS, which is my stove, a very small stove. I have a Bic lighter. I have a little Swiss Army knife. This is kind of a godsend. This was $21 and it weighs 23 grams. The Bic Mini is 2 1/4 for, I think I got a 3 or 4 pack for 2.3 grams each. The BRS Mini is $16.95 and weighs in at 25 grams. The Row Creek is 125 grams, weighs, or it costs $26.95. And then I did something else. This is actually just some regular isopropane, a premium isobutane, protein, say it again. Isobutane, which is a butane propane gas mix. And so this one's empty, so I'm going to have to get another one when I get down to Georgia. But I also got a little fry pan. And the reason why I got this fry pan, this is the Toaks 900 milliliter pan. It cost $15 and weighs 45.3 grams. The reason why I got this is I want to be able to fry up Spam, which is high fat, high protein, and lots of energy. I know it's not the cleanest of meats, but you can get it at pretty much any grocery store, and several convenience stores will sell some of this. So I know that there's about 1,200 calories in like a single container of it, so that's going to keep me well fed. So with that said, that is my camp kitchen. Then the next up is my little emergency kit. I bought these little packages from Hilltop Packs, and they're not inexpensive. I have another one for my electronics, which I'll talk about in a minute. And what I've kept in here is a series of things. I have kind of a whole bunch of different bandages, stuff for blisters. I have some Neosporin in here. I have some hot hands, which I have 2 of them, so hopefully there's not more than 2 cold nights on the trail. And then I have tenacious tape. I think I threw a little tiny tick remover. I have some Tylenol in there. So those are all small items that you can pick up. I do have some KT tape in there as well. And I have this fancy little thing right here. It's called the Luminod. You can get these. They're a couple bucks for a pair of 2. And they will light up. They'll glow in the dark. So in case I need to get into this or my electronics case, here it is, right? That's just a way to keep an eye on this in the dark. And I will put the price. I'm unsure right now how much these bags cost, but they're not inexpensive. And I think I spent a total of about $100 on our Hilltop Packs. But let's go to electronics. I'll just quickly go through that. I have a, which I haven't even opened yet. Hey, Merry Christmas to me. But I have a wall charger. I may need a different one. I'm still playing around with things. And then I've got a series of cords. I have some earbuds that I don't have to charge. And then I might use another earbud that I will charge. And then I'm using the Getty Who 10,000 milliamp power bank. Let me look up to see. This is, it's called Getty Who. Costs about $20. This one is 235 grams, which is fairly heavy, but I got it for free from my son. He went off to the Army, which I thank him for his service, and I'm going to take your power bank. So there's my anchor, and I'll have other things that will go in this. Like I said, I may carry some earbuds. I've got my electronics, my watch, which died earlier today while I was at work. I got to learn to keep that charged. So now I have several items that I'm going to show you. I'll just go through them quickly. I do have my Mountain Smith Dolomite trekking poles, and the reason why I chose these is because you can flip them open and extend them and easily flip them closed, which is good for my trekking pole tent. So that's what I'm going to be using. And again, if we look at the durability, weight, and price, these are very durable. The weight of them is a little higher than normal. They're just regular trekking poles. I do enjoy that they have a cork grip. I used to have some foam grip and I did not really enjoy that. And then the price was just right. I think I got the pair of them for about $45. And actually it was, I'm sorry, $29.99 each, so $60 for the pair, which is 567 grams for the two of them. All right, a whole bunch of other stuff that I got, and I'm not going to go really through the price, but it will be I will include a link to my lighter pack, and you can take a quick look at it there. But this is the Katadyn Bee-Free water filter. I've used this a few times, and it's doing well. This is the 1 liter. I have a Nilo fume bag, which will go inside of my pack. I have the Hilltop packs. Like I said, this is my food bag. That's what I'm going to start. Oh, actually, that's my clothing bag, sorry. And then I have my food bag. Again, this might show up on a shakedown hike somewhere. And I have my bear bag with a rope, a little rock sack. And then this is from, I believe this is Apex Giant, which is the small dog bone, which that'll be used several times over the next few months. Other thing is, one of the splurges I got was the Flex Tail. It is the electronic inflator for my sleeping pad. And I might carry also the bag to help inflate my sleeping pad. And who knows, this might end up being the saving grace at the end of a long day. But that's kind of a splurge. I do have a lightweight selfie stick for all the videoing that I'll be doing out on the trail. I did fail to mention that I have my Toaks titanium spoon, which is ultralight, and I can reach into the bottom of the pot to eat whatever I need to eat. I have a Nightcore NU25 headlamp. It has 3 different settings. It's ultralight. This was not too expensive. It was 20-something dollars, ultralight, and hopefully it's durable. I haven't really read anything to the contrary, but maybe leave a comment. And then my Dirt Saw Deuce. This replaced the other one that I got and I showed in a previous video. So this is nice and durable looking, as well as super ultralight, and was, I don't know, not too expensive. It was much more expensive than the other trowel that I had. Here's the toothbrush. This may not last very long. I can always replace it any convenience store. And then I like Colgate. I don't know about you. I'm not a Crest guy. I like Colgate. Couple other items. This is Ben's Ultranet, which I'm not going to carry with me until the bugs come out. I have a New Testament, so I'll be reading the Bible a little bit while I'm on the trail. I know I can go digital and save the weight for this. May happen, but I'm going to keep that with me. And then I have a very small little pad to write down my thoughts, organize my thoughts. One of the other things that I got from a friend of mine, he brought it over, he and his wife got it. It was a solar power bank. And I'm going to actually try this out. It might be overkill. This might end up in a box that gets sent back home. And I'm sure you guys are going to comment on that. So all the gear in the world, all the high price gear, the low price gear, the weight of one piece versus another, they're not going to make any difference in my travels on the AT unless I have the right clothing for early spring in the Appalachians. So you need to know how to layer before you head out on the trail. So go to this video next to help you get prepared for the weather on the Appalachian Trail. And as always, happy hiking.